Most people want to get rich. But do you have what it takes to spend like a billionaire? Here are 10 of the most ridiculously dumb things that billionaires choose to spend their money on. Hey everyone, this is One Away, the channel where we give you the latest and greatest topics you probably never thought about or thought about them like this. The stuff on this list is next to none. They'll get you to think why billionaires spend all that money. Before we proceed, please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and hit that subscribe button to get the latest videos we put out. A car fit for Sultan. Brunei's premier sultan is a man of many tastes. He likes to stay cordial and diplomatic, among other things. And he'll put out $24,000 to get a haircut from his barber and treat the barber well throughout his visit. But for a country smaller than one of the states in America, this sultan lives life on the high road. Literally. The Sultan of Brunei owns an army of the most expensive luxury performance cars the money can buy. Supposedly, around $5,000 to $7,000 are in his vault, which is the stuff of a legend. These include an insane 452 Ferraris and 21 Lamborghinis, and in tip-top speed shape too. That's not including 604 Rolls-Royce cars, one of which is the Indian Star Rolls-Royce convertible, which is $14 million for that car alone. The entire collection amasses around $5 billion. That's out of this world ridiculous. Some diamonds with your tea, sir. Tea is an ever-popular beverage in different parts of the world. But diamond tea? That's a ridiculous-sounding idea and one that certainly applies to rich people. And this tea made by Boodle's Jewelers does just that. It's not for everybody. The price alone is a heavy $15,000 for one of these handmade diamond tea bags. Speaking of diamonds, this particular tea bag is adorned with a lot of it, 280 in particular. Granted, all this is done with a purpose, to raise funds for a children's charity over at Manchester, England, and to celebrate the British tea ceremony. But aside from the first one, if you wanted to celebrate tea, why not drink regular tea? The House of Bezos. If you were unaware of Jeff Bezos, that's understandable. Although the founder of Amazon is arguably the richest man in the world, he is rather demure. But, like any billionaire out there, Bezos has a few agendas with the rest of the money. Bezos spent $23 million to buy an old textile museum to turn it into his private mansion that extends for up to 27,000 square feet. It was not enough though, as Bezos slapped another $12 million to add the equivalent of a giant ballroom hall reminiscent of the Beauty and the Beast, coupled with 11 bedrooms, 3 kitchens, 5 living rooms, and 25 bathrooms. He has arguably the biggest house in all the Washington, D.C. area. The thing is, this is just a fifth home for Bezos, with others in the state of Texas, California, and properties in New York. Yacht of the Stars. Yachts. They've been around in just every movie featuring a rich guy, or the occasionally rich James Bond villain. Is it because of trips to exotic Greek islands or romantic Italian vistas? Probably not. For most billionaires, yachts have been some of the most ridiculously expensive things they buy, and they only seem to get costlier with each billionaire. There is Roman Abramovich, for example, who bought what is now known as the second largest private yacht in the world, called the Eclipse. The yacht sails around with a 162.5-meter long frame and is pretty much used for traveling and the occasional water sports hub. That $450 million price tag on it is no joke, and it takes around $65 million per year to maintain the thing. That fascination of people with lots of cold hard cash and big boats persists, even if it is ridiculous. A dish is best served gold. You can probably leave off food that is on the lower price range, but billionaires, even in food, handle that issue differently. Delmonico is arguably the first sit-down restaurant in America, and supposedly, Abraham Lincoln and Mark Twain both ate there. Today, they are known for their $380 180-day dry-aged steak. They also happen to come as an intersection to Wall Street, and that means showing off your earnings. Turns out, Delmonico has a secret billionaires menu that you can access via their bartender. And their menu? It's quite a doozy. $100 for a grilled cheese sandwich, $50 for a black and gold half-moon cookie, $150 for a billionaire flatbread with Wagyu beef, lobster meat, foie gras, and black truffle shavings with 24-karat gold leaves, $35 for a billionaire milkshake made up of ice cream, caramelized popcorn, chocolate garnish, and available in coffee or chocolate flavors. It's no surprise it's a secret. This menu is too expensive. The Flying Palace of Arabia. To many business people that made their billions, they usually like to get a helicopter and a helipad to show it off. Not for Prince Al-Waleed bin Talal of Saudi Arabia, whose membership as part of the royal family's trust fund inner circle makes other billionaires blush. He had already owned an expensive Boeing. Modern art. Any person who's seen a film with an art museum knows that sometimes it features a rich person who appreciates arts and wave their hand as confirmation. Later on, that same billionaire buys off some of this art, especially modern art, to show that they're complicated. This con job works in movies and worked back in the 60s as well. Turns out, it works even today, and with a bigger price tag. That was the case with Ken Griffiths, a known billionaire with an art curiosity. He has amassed a lot of paintings, but the paintings that led the Chicago Tribune to call it one of the largest private deals ever in the history of arts. The paintings? A Willem de Kooning and a Jackson Pollock. The price? $500 million. $500 million. For that price, you could have joined and supported Cirque du Soleil or funded 2 Marvel's Avengers flicks. The most valuable watch. Most billionaires, of course, rarely buy jewelry and leave it at that. They also buy really expensive designer watches too. And arguably, there's a swag factor in a good watch. But billionaires don't just buy watches. They buy the kind of watches that only open their doors when money is around. Take what is considered the most valuable watch today, the Patek Philippe Henry Graves, and the only one of its kind that took 3 years to develop and 5 years to manufacture. But let's face it, it's a beautiful watch. But it's a watch. It's not going to cure cancer. And Henry Graves made it with the equivalent of $15,000. Some billionaire bought this glorified item for $25 million. That's kind of dumb. The Hanging Gardens of Antilia. Different kinds of buildings appeal to billionaires and rich people for some different reason. Sometimes they are avant-garde art museums. Sometimes they are research centers inventing the future of the world. For others, skyscrapers. And the big ones too. Take this billionaire mogul from India named Mukesh Ambani. When he could have chosen to settle for a more downsized options, he chose to have a skyscraper built, because he wanted one. Antilia is his private skyscraper home that has 27 stories with a height of 173 meters or 570 feet and expands to 400,000 square feet or 37,161 square meters. It also has a ballroom, an 80-seat theater, 3-hole helipads, a garage fit for 168 cars, and some gardens and a terrace. To boot, spa included. The cost? $2 billion. The maintenance? 600 people to pay for. At the least, Ambani built a temple inside.